What up, y'all? So, I want to give a review of Ghostwire Tokyo. I played that game a little while ago, but I hadn't done a review. I can say that there was a lot of it I liked, and then there was some stuff that I wasn't a big fan on. But we'll go ahead and we'll start with gameplay, then I'll go graphic, then I'll go story, and then kind of my final rating and opinion of what I thought. So, in terms of the gameplay, I did like the controls of it once I got used to it. At first, it kind of felt clunky to me, and it was kind of needing to learn it. But once I got the controls down and kind of got used to it, I did like the style of it. I liked the different kinds of attacks you can use between the water, the fire, and then I definitely abused the living hell out of air. And I did like the techniques that they added in, and they made it where you can actually rank up earlier and kind of max out at a reasonable time frame. And it wasn't too much of a miserable grind like some RPGs can be, where you got to do the same thing like over and over and over again, where it kind of becomes monotonous. The nice part is the game never to me ever got monotonous. It never got boring to me. I always like it. I did enjoy playing it for the gameplay. In terms of the graphics, I would probably rate the graphics probably mid-level. It was nice, but it was still like it could have been a touch better. I wasn't 100% sold to it. It was kind of like on the graphic side of things. It wasn't like, oh crap, beautiful. But I did like the graphic. I did like the idea of being in the Tokyo design and the buildings and how they did create it, because the environment felt good. But I think the graphics themselves could have been just a little bit more touched up. But I didn't have any real huge complaint or grief on it. Now, in terms of the storyline, for me, this is where the game kind of took a hit. Because I did like the controls, I liked the graphics decent enough. But when it came to the story, it was really kind of lumped together and kind of confusing all the way up until almost near the end. Like, it was so clunky. There was a bunch of different things going on, but there wasn't much of a background of what it was, why it was. And then even the final boss battle was kind of weak. I kind of felt like fighting the sister and the mother were actually more challenging than the final boss. And going through, and the story itself, kind of getting the whole background of the mother and father that died for his sister in the fire, I didn't really get to even understanding it or anything else until near the end. And the detective, he kind of was a dick, but he was he had personality, but it was hard to really get involved with him for me. I couldn't really connect with them in terms of some other movies and games I've played, where you can really just click with the character and kind of understand them and then run the story along, where it just feels natural. The story for me on it with him and the kid, none of it really felt natural. A lot of it just kind of felt forced. And even the sister aspect of why the evil guy wanted her so much, even that aspect was kind of confusing all the way till the end. It just didn't really make much in the way of sense. But one thing at least I did appreciate was, I know with the Japanese and the China and all that, I know that cats and different things like that are kind of more known to their style of living. And I did like the touch of it. Like that part of it with the cats being the vendors and all that, I liked that touch of it. And I did like how they had their shops and setups for that. But in terms of the storyline itself, I kind of felt like it was a let me down. If the gameplay wasn't as good as what it was for me, the game I probably would have wound up giving probably like a mid-level, like a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. But because I did like the gameplay, and I always have loved Japanese culture and like and just anything dealing with like Japanese games, for me, I ended up, like, I guess biasedly rated a little higher because I just loved the culture. But I think my final review I would give it would be, probably would say a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6.5 out of 10, because the game was fun, but realistically, I don't know if it's a game that I could see myself playing again, because once you beat it once, there's really not much of a difference you can do with it. It's kind of like even with like some first-person shooters that the storyline is just straight based and doesn't change. Some of them are really good where you might miss something and you want to replay it, but some are just like, yeah, I beat it, okay, I'm done, that's it, and you just don't ever play the game again. But I'm not gonna bash the game, because the gameplay and the graphics were not bad. But the story, I think they could have taken more time to kind of build a little better. But that's my 2 cents on the game. Let me know what you guys' opinion is of the game, if you've played it, or if you've seen my watch through, what you think on it. And I'll try to reply back to anyone that comments on it. And I hope we all have a good day. Later.